Hey, what's going on, guys? Battle Nation's Emperor here, back today with another video. And today, guys, we're trying something new out today. We're doing 3 iconic Battle Nations units with the story behind them. Something different besides 101. I'm probably going to call it something like that along those lines. Just something to try to spice it up a little. Definitely going to keep doing the 101s and continue on with the series we have. Battle Nation series, definitely got to wrap that one up. The aircraft, I know a lot of people have been liking those and have been sending in their recommended aircraft. Definitely going to get back to this, but this is just a little new idea. See if you guys like it. We can definitely do more, but for today, just going to quickly go over 3 of them. 3 which each of these units within their own right, I feel, has their own story and touched each player who had honestly, the privilege to play with them. Every single one of them comes from a different era of Battle Nations, in my opinion, and I feel they all represent their era very well. So without any further delay, let's just jump right into it, starting off with the very famous Wimp. So no need to introduce this guy. If you're a Battle Nations vet, you already know what's coming. But for anybody who does not know what the Wimp is, don't worry, I got the full rundown, and also I got recordings of his attack animations, just because if you haven't seen his attack animations, it's something an image does not do just. So I recorded the animations just for today's video because it wouldn't be right without them. So let's jump right into the cliff notes. He is a base game unit. He is available in he's available at level 12 in a level 3 barracks or higher, very early on game unit. He requires a massive and extremely massive amount of gold and XP to rank up. He is one of the hardest units in the game to rank up, base, limited edition, anything else. He is a struggle, especially at the last 2 levels, his rank 5 and 6. Let's pull up the stats, the stats for them right here. You can see right down below where it says promotional cost, and then we have each individual tier. Notice right there on the 4, so you can see from promotion tier 3 to rank 4, it jumps from 12 hours all the way up to 1 day, and the cost goes from 10,000 gold all the way up to 100,000 gold, but it gets much worse. Right here we can see for rank 5 it's 1,000,000 gold, and then finally for rank 6 it's 1,500,000 gold. So in a very expensive unit to rank up and get all this battle for. So you might ask yourself, okay, so what would be the point of this? Well, all of it pays off on rank 6. Let's go back to rank 6 real quick. If you would look at his health, the very top right here, it's right next to SP, or right below SP. You can see his health jumps all the way from 100 at rank 5, going all the way to 350 as soon as he has rank 6. All of his other stats getting a nice little bump, especially his bravery stat. All of his stats go getting a very nice boost, but that's not what's the best thing about him. The best thing about him is he elects the ability to research 2 new attacks, which are called Juiced Hook and Juiced Clap. So, what are Juiced Hook and Juiced Clap? Well, this is the Wimp. Also, fun fact about this guy, he is one of the very few Battle Nations units that does not change color when on the enemy side. So, of course, most of your units are green, and then when they are on the enemy side, they are gray. Wimp is one of the very few units who that does not apply. He always looks like this, no matter he's on your side or the enemy side. But let's get right into his attack. So, this is his first attack. This is the only attack he has from ranks 1 to 5. A very silly spray pattern where he does his best to shoot the field for massive 38 damage. So pretty pathetic, and you have to grind with him with this single attack. So you're pretty much throwing in all your vets, weakening everything down, and just trying to let him get a few pipe shots. Throw him in the back, protecting him while all your vets do all the hard work. Just simple stuff like that. So you have to grind with this simple attack. But once you get through it, once you go through all the ranks, spend all the gold, wait all the time, your payoff is this. He injects himself with what is only known officially in the game as, quote, the juice, and he becomes the Hulk. This is his first attack, and this is his second. both of these attacks doing the same massive 280 damage to anything unfortunate to take a hit from it. So while extremely expensive to get, the second he hits that, immediately becomes worth it. And the last thing I want to throw in about him, and I think pretty much anybody playing the game at the time can attest to this, he became the cannon fodder for everything. Whether you're going into a base attack you just didn't want to risk any of your main units for, whether it was defending your base, whether it was for an occupation, he just became the default to go through. He was that powerful. And when I say cannon fodder, that is in no way an insult. It was just the factor of he was so powerful and so strong and so cheap, because he was only a few hundred gold to repair in your hospital, nothing crazy. And then once he unlocked these two attacks, you could certainly justify that. It became so broken that they nerfed him multiple times. I'm sure you can believe that. However, the most hard-hitting one, I think the one that hurt him the most, is they limited only 3 wimps on the battlefield. That's right, you can, at the final stage of Battle Nations for a good few years, because it was the last nerf they gave him, and it was, you can only have 3 wimps on the battlefield. And even then, you'd put 3 wimps, 1 center, 1 on each side, and it would be beyond broken. That would all you would need. Extremely legendary unit. Great Battle Nations troop. And I can say with high confidence we will see him return in some form in the upcoming remake. Moving on to our next unit for today, we have the, I'll keep calling one called the Battle Bus. Fortnite's right in my brain. The Boom Bus. Terribly sorry about that. The very famous Boom Bus, limited edition vehicle that was one of a kind, and in that sense, it did something that no unit would ever do, and only one other unit would ever do. It did not cost nanopods, despite being a limited edition troop. You trained this like any other vehicle for gears and resources, but it did not cost nanopods. The only other limited edition unit that would ever do this is the Rainbow Trooper, which we have covered in a previous video. However, even it would be an April Fool's, more of a joke unit, if you will. It was kind of given to everybody. That's why it was non-nanopod cost. This was just genuinely a legendary release by Early Z2. It was so unbelievably popular that despite being a limited edition vehicle, despite this being early Battle Nations, early Z2 in the early 2013, way before, King would even consider buying them, back before we were even hit peak Battle Nations, when they still valued limited edition units, they brought it back several months later for July 19th, 2013. For one more go. This would be a legendary event, and most people wouldn't be upset with it just because of how genuinely popular this limited edition unit was. A lot of people just wanted it back for everybody. Now, of course, there were some people upset about it, but a lot of people were just happy to have a chance to get it. It was so unbelievably powerful that it caused an issue called stun locking. Stun locking would be where if you had multiple boom buses, they could literally prevent your opponent from moving. So going into the attacks, these are the 3 attacks it had, and stun locking was possible with this final one right here, which hit the entire map before it received multiple different nerfs. 2 massive ones, 2 massive waves of nerfs. This, before the 2 nerfs, could stun everything on the battlefield. So hypothetically, as long as you didn't have a cooldown, as long as you had like 6 of them, 6 of them on your side of the field, never having to worry about a cooldown, always stunning your opponent. Yeah, on those corner edges, you're doing 4 damage, but your opponent's infinitely stunned. It's kind of like having your opponent slep or, confused in Pokemon, except it's infinite and, you never stop it. So it pretty much made games boring, and it was a huge issue in PvP because, there's one thing to get grounded by an OP opponent. It's another thing to never have your troops even get the chance to attack because your opponent has, 8 boom buses. So it had to be nerfed multiple times, especially the infinite stun lock had to be brought down. The final attack, that attack I just showed, this one right here, the one that caused stun locks, is known in-game as the Brown Note. The Brown Note is referencing the urban legend by the same name. For anybody who is wondering what the Brown Note is, without getting into too much graphic detail, it's an urban legend of a sound that, when produced, makes people void their bowels. Now, rest assured, it is just an urban legend, as if it was real, the entire internet would be playing the song nonstop. It would be more common to send people that link than Rickroll. So we can rest assured it is not real, because if it were, everybody would be doing it. Somebody would have found it and spread it like wildfire on the internet. And then finally, the last note of contention is what I just said, the two massive nerfs, which were, one, of course, stopping stun luck. Then it nerfed both of the attacks, weaken their damage. So their final form would do 78 in the center, and then 300. These are the final damage stats of what it would do post nerf. So it would destroy the damage on these, not make them useless, but compared to what they were, would be a massive hit. Remove stun lock, that would be the first massive nerf, and then the second nerf would remove the Boombuss's cold immunity. Before, it had an immunity to cold. After the nerf, it just removed the immunity. And here are the patch notes right here. So overall, legendary vehicle, a face of Battle Nations, really, and a lovely unit. And finally, for today's video, we have Ruduct, the Red-Nosed Raptor. This is kind of my personal choice for today's video, because when I saw him in the wiki, he is what inspired me to make today's video. He was a one-of-a-time Christmas event animal that was based off, of course, the legendary story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. There is really nothing special about this. It is literally just a regular raptor, a regular tamed raptor, a battle raptor, just with a red nose. This is Ruduct, and this is a regular battle raptor. The exact same, except again, just the red nose added. So, and again, his attack, simple slice, like a regular raptor, and claw down the field like a regular raptor. He did have a little bit more health. He was buffed in the health department. And then the promo splash right here. Upgrade to level 10 during this event to win the grand prize Red-Nosed Raptor and 30 nanopods. One-time chance, and they truly meant it, to get this rare unit. XP and resources prizes with each upgrade, acquirable Jubilee event via missions. And this is what the building looked like. Just wanted to say, I think this was the perfect trophy, because I was able to get this last day. I spent $20 IRL money buying nanopods to get this thing rushed. And I had zero regrets, because I was able to get my own Ruduct. And in my opinion, he is exactly what a Battle Nations trophy should be. Cool, interesting, funny for what it's worth. You know, he was a Christmas unit, perfect Christmas unit, and genuinely limited edition. If you were there, you were able to get him. I was able to get him with several of my friends, and he was the perfect trophy. He wasn't broken, he didn't kill anybody in PvP, but he was extremely fun to have, and just a perfect show-off trophy, you know, like, you know, hey, look at my raptor with the red nose, you know, just kind of fun. So in my opinion, going forward, Matarona Games should really kind of shoot for a Ruduct tech. I would love for our first Christmas if we could get Ruduct back for just one Christmas. The first Christmas, I think it'd be perfectly back. And yes, just the absolute perfect Christmas unit, perfect trophy unit in Battle Nations, and in my opinion, the most iconic limited edition unit in Battle Nations, at least to me. But that will just about do it for us today, guys. Again, just a little throwout video, fun to break up the 101s. Just want to do something that, you know, I hope could inspire some nostalgia in you guys. I know Ruduct was a little bit out there, but the Wimp is, of course, just a staple of Battle Nations. And the Boombuss, I mean, that was arguably one of, if not the most popular limited edition, you know, units of all time. So definitely had to include him for the first video. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. If you liked this video, you know, tell me down below in the comments. I can definitely make some more. If not, we can go back to the Battle Nations 101s. If you have some new ideas for some other videos, please let me down below. But that will just about do it for us today, guys. If you liked today's video, please drop a like down below, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. And with all of that being said, thank you very much for watching today, guys, and as always, have a great rest of your day.